When and why did you leave Hillcrest? And what, I mean, you said you wanted to go fight your case, but why not just maintain your admitting privileges and just not admit patients?
It's not quite that easy because, I mean, you're seeing me now and I'm angry as heck about it all, and I should be. But at the time, I was scared to death. And at the time, I was a basket case, and it still was quite busy. And when you're operating and this stuff, it's not like it's like a kid with cancer. You never can shut it off. And I did not want a mistake to happen. That's the first thing. I didn't want anything bad to happen to my patients because I knew I wasn't concentrating because it was just too much in the back of my head, or I had to get on the phone, or I had to answer some kind of question. I had this hurricane, tornado over my head constantly with lightning bolts ready to hit me at any moment.
Anyone would.
I was a basket case. The second reason is that I realized the gravity when they loaded up the 23 cases plus with the original 5, that this was serious. And if I lost my license, it was over. All of what my parents had sacrificed for, everything that I had sacrificed in my life, everything I'd done for my family and preparations that I'd made, it was going to be gone. I'd be flipping burgers if I was lucky with the high expensive degree. I knew it, and it wasn't true. So in order to concentrate on that, it was a Herculean task. And I mean that in the very sense of the word. 23 cases at one time. I had a deposition for 3 straight days over 23 cases. I had to memorize. Doctors freak out over one malpractice case. Imagine 23 cases in a row, in one room, 3 days solid. You got to know them inside and out for your parents' livelihood, for your family's livelihood. My kids' savings, everything else, I had to spend everything to defend my name, which I'd be stupid to do if I was guilty. And you may say, hey, maybe he is stupid. We don't know that yet. But given the facts, it's all starting to come together. Maybe I'm not a big idiot. I would only fight this hard because it was wrong. So why did I have to settle? I didn't want to settle. No way, shape, or form. But at the time, we didn't know because we had asked for the facts from the board. We said, let me see the file. You can keep your investigative part, but the open part, since the investigation was over and you started this prosecution, the prosecution phase is open. We should have access to that. They said no. All those emails confirming Gary Brooks was behind the scenes. All those emails confirming about Brewster and D'Angelo's communicating with the board. All those emails about Lau Kelsey instructing them to go get me kicked off the Tulsa hospital staff, quote unquote. All those things that I've shown you that you've seen as part of the public record. We didn't have it. We knew it was true, but we couldn't prove it, right?
How did the fact that the medical board had admittedly a very sloppy process, apparently biased, does that change the underlying claims that these 23 patients were making or that were being made on their behalf?
The answer to that is they wouldn't tell us who made the complaints, okay? And when we found out after the settlement, after the documents became public, after the Bar Association disclosed what happened, we found out that it was Gary Brooks, members of the very board who were making money that were making complaints, not the patients. The 5 patients at the emergency hearing had no clue that they were part of some sort of investigative process, and so the doctor might have done something wrong because I hadn't.
EWM, patient EWF, there were two patients who died fairly close to each other. One patient was, I guess, August 1st, 2008 was the operation, and according to the complaint and to the lawsuit, you discharged the patient while there were complaints of choking and coughing, that kind of thing. Dies on the 8th. Then we got this other patient who died fairly soon after surgery. So do you want to address those 2 cases, or can you?
I can, but I'm gonna say something, and this is what I don't want to happen. But you're a big girl, and you know what you're doing and everything too. This is what the board wants to do. They want to get caught in the weeds of everything and say all these things happened when they didn't. And to get the big picture is what the board did. The big picture is all the bad stuff the board did, not that I'm a bad doctor. Because if I was a bad doctor, the hospital staffs would have kicked me off a long time ago. The board would have found some reason to do it.
You voluntarily left all the hospital staffs?
Well, I had to leave the hospital staffs because I was concentrating so much on this, and then once all this stuff happened, I realized so much what I can do as an outpatient setting.